Let's see. Okay. I think y'all can hear me now. Let's try this again, shall we? Can't believe that's finally here, but it is officially draft night. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Titans Rundown. I am your host, Micah McCamey, and I am ready for draft night. Dude, oh my gosh. It has been such a windy, wild week in the Titans community. You know what I mean? Like, I have heard so many rumors, so many different things. Now I am just ready to see what happens with this NFL draft because, again, I'm just ready for this to be done so we can put all of the rumors to rest. You know what I mean? So, now that the draft is starting, let's talk about that pick. The Tennessee Titans are going to pick somebody. I mean, that's the obvious thing. But the question is, who will it be? Well, obviously, there's been the big rumor that Jeremiah Love is going to be the guy. I am under the belief that Jeremiah Love will probably be the guy. But we don't know that yet. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know, right? And honestly, like I don't. Again, it's been just really weird over the past couple of days with the whole Jeremiah Love may go to the Cardinals thing. That could also very obviously happen. Then we got to bring up the idea of Sonny Styles. Like, look, I am not like the biggest fan of Sonny Styles. I would just be kind of meh about it. But if Borgonzi believes that's what the best choice is, then I guess we might as well go for it. And then there's also David Bailey. That one's kind of lost some steam recently, but it's still an option. And then the trade down, which honestly would probably be my favorite choice, more so just because of the fact that honestly, like I want more draft capital to move around, more draft capital to trade up or down in the draft. I want all of the draft capital that we can get. That was the inevitable plan by Mike Borgonzi whenever he first took this job. He said, our slogan for this era is going to be draft, retain, and develop. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that that is what we inevitably end up going with. All right. Just post into the rest of my socials that I am indeed live, just so that way most people get the idea at least. So hopefully that will come soon. All right. Welcome to the stream. Looks like they are getting very close to getting up on the podium. I mean, we only got 1 minute until this thing technically starts. I'm excited to see who we get, honestly. I mean, we know how the first two picks are going to go. It's going to be Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey. No, not David Bailey, Arvo Reese. It's going to be those two guys to start out. And then after that, who knows what's going to happen, right? Again, the Cardinals are very unpredictable here. One of two things is going to happen. Either they are going to either they're going to trade down or they're going to take Jeremiah Love. I am terrified of the idea that they might end up taking Jeremiah Love, but we will just have to wait and see, quite frankly. So I am very intrigued by this draft, to say the least. Now, I'm not too sure if you want to comment on this, but I personally think that if Jeremiah Love is gone, you got to trade down. Again, it's just like an intense emphasis on uh what's the word I'm looking for? Draft capital. I want as much draft capital as we can possibly get. And I hope that we can get that, to say the least. So they're back from commercial break. Roger Goodell is probably going to end up on the podium soon. So we have that to look forward to. Just saw another person came in. Welcome to the stream. All right. Let's do this. This is one of the most I've told my friends this all of this week. The first day of the Masters, Christmas, and the start of March Madness are the four biggest highlights of my year. And not my birthday, not even the start of the NFL season, but this right here. Now, maybe the start of the NFL season will become a highlight of my year whenever maybe the Titans actually get good again. But that day is a long day away. So this will end up continuing to be one of the most special days of my year, which honestly, I'm not complaining about it. I mean, I'm excited about it, right? So we'll see what happens. Right now, they're showing all the people. They just put Arvo Reese up on the camera. That would be a miracle. If we could get Arvo Reese, we have got to do that immediately. I mean, I don't think we will, but if we can, we should like go running up to the podium about that. Correct? They're still doing a little bit more coverage. Golly, the draft should have started 1 minute ago. I don't know what's up with the delay, if you will, but they're just talking stuff, a lot of other things. So we are just now waiting for Roger Goodell to walk out. And there he is, actually. They're walking out with Cameron Hayward and another Steelers legend. I didn't get a good enough look at him to guess who it was. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Saw a couple of other people joined. Welcome to the stream. Whew, man. Yep. Now Roger Goodell goes to Yap and everybody starts booing him. That's how the NFL draft goes. So, who do we think is going to get drafted here first overall? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but I want to see if anybody has a controversial opinion about this, Like, I have seen some people try and be like, what if they don't take Fernando Mendoza? But, like, it would honestly be just kind of more funny to me than anything if that reality ended up just becoming true. Like, I would be incredibly shocked. Let's just put it that way. Welcome to the stream. Whoever just came in. Whew, man. Oh, it's TJ Watt. How on earth did I not? I didn't get a good enough look at him, but like, yeah, that's obvious. Now that I'm looking at him again, jeez, Micah, woo, man. Ah, man. Again, really excited about this. Introducing Cameron Hayward to the crowd. So, there are a lot of other things that could factor into this draft. I have heard rumors just as recently as today that the Titans have lingered with later pick teams about trading back into the first round and trying to use a late round draft pick to go get somebody else. I would absolutely love that personally. I think that would require us trading back at some point, though, just because, like, it doesn't feel completely correct. Somebody asked, "Am I ready?" Yes. Yes, I am. I think that username is bot bot with blood 82. Yes. I am 100% ready for this draft. I could not be more excited, honestly, just because, like, again, this is like Christmas morning for me. Like, it's just such an exciting time to be alive, if you will. And here comes Heinz Ward out onto the stage. Whew, man. Oh yeah, that is Glenn. Hey, how you doing? All right. So, again, after like the first two picks are, let's just put it this way, they're extremely obvious, right? Fernando Mendoza's number one. We already touched on that enough as it is, but the next pick after that is probably going to be Arvel Reese. I mean, betting odds just skyrocketed just today, even. So we'll see if that continues to stay the same. But I'm just really intrigued to see what happens after that pick because we're unpredictable. The Cardinals are unpredictable. Like everything after this. So I didn't do a mock draft this year because last year I did a mock draft, and every time that I got a pick wrong, I would have to do 10 push-ups. For context about how unpredictable the draft is, I had to do 260 push-ups last year. No, 270. I got the first four picks right. And after that, I got one pick right. Now, that may just speak to the fact of my ball knowledge. Who knows? But like, it just speaks to the unpredictability of the NFL draft, you know? Okay. And now the 2026 NFL draft is officially open. Las Vegas is on the clock. 2 minutes have already passed for them. Again, this is such an obvious pick, and I actually want to compliment. I want to compliment the guys on this right here. It's Steve Brumfield just put it in the comments with all love. Yep. Lol, you got built based off of the wrong picks. In some ways, yes, but I'm still not the most in shape dude. I'm still a little plump, but it's fine. So I want to compliment real quick what the Raiders are doing here. I think is very smart. They signed Kirk Cousins to one of the weirdest contracts that I think I've ever seen. It's basically a 1 year, $20 million deal. He's just going to get cut after one season, but like it's really weird because technically the contract is like a 4 year, $178 million deal. I don't know how you sign him to that after the season that he just had, but hey, I mean, who knows, man? I don't get that. But I really like that they're just letting Mendoza sit on the bench and develop, not really rushing him into action. I feel like we kind of did that with Cam Ward last year, and it didn't really do too great of favors for us. I mean, he was probably not going to be great either way that first year, not because of him. I still think that he's great, but because of the weapons around him and also the coaching staff. Genuinely, maybe the worst coaching staff that I think I have ever seen grace a football field. Like I know that there's the Hugh Jackson led Cleveland Browns or the Urban Meyer led Jacksonville Jaguars, but like I don't know, man. Like from the context of a coach that didn't have controversies in his coaching tenure, that was one of the worst I think I have ever seen. Like off the field controversies, like Hugh Jackson had some off the field controversies. Urban Meyer, duh. And if you're curious about what those are, look those up on your own time. I'm trying to keep this stream PG, but like it's still like it's ridiculous, man. Speaking of controversies, welcome in new viewer. Speaking of controversies, it was kind of weird for me seeing watching this stream. I've been watching up here for about an hour now. The Mike Vrabel press conference was hosted, and for anybody that doesn't know about that controversy, again, it's with a certain reporter named Diana Rossini. If you want to figure out what it is, search it up on your own. Sorry, again, I'm trying to keep this PG. So that was really weird to watch for me because, like, every Titans fan had kind of had a sneaking suspicion about that just because of the fact that she had gotten all of the inside reports on on the Titans and even on the Patriots. So it was just a really intriguing thing to see. But anyway, I want to go back to the Raiders here. I think Fernando Mendoza has been put into a situation that could make him very good. I think that Clint Kubiak, with the signing of Kirk Cousins, I think that proved that he's not just another Brian Callahan, if you will, where it's just like this young offensive mind that, even though he may not be like incredibly charismatic or anything, like an incredible like leader of men type of person, if you will, he's a very smart offensive mind and he knows what he's doing. That signing alone definitely helped to show that, yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders, they might mean business during this era. I don't think that, I don't know if it'll amount to anything, but honestly, the way that they're handling Fernando Mendoza is a really solid sign. I remember their GM's John Spytek. I remember whenever we were hiring our GM, we had the same GM hiring process during the same year. And I remember saying that even though Mike Borgonzi was my second or first favorite option, he was interchangeable with John Eric Sullivan. I remember saying that I really liked John Spytek because he comes from that respected organization. He's consistently getting interviews, and I would have been completely good with him getting hired by us. And I think that he has just proven further and further with these guys in Las Vegas that, yeah, he's going to be a decent GM. Now, will he end up doing anything with the Raiders? I don't know. Because of the fact that, like, it's such a hard situation to walk in on, just with how weirdly ran that organization is with, Mark Davis and all those other guys. But genuinely, I think it could be interesting. Another comment here uh from his name is Hi Daddy. Hello. J Love is the next Eddie George. I could definitely see it. I don't know if he'll be as good as Eddie was, obviously. I mean, Eddie, he's just like, he was just such an incredible player, right? Now, if you want to say that he's the next Chris Johnson, I would 100% get behind you on that. Not saying that Chris Johnson is a worse player than Eddie George because, well, I think honestly, like, Chris Johnson's prime was just slightly better than Eddie George's prime. It's just Eddie George had more longevity, and the pick is in for the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry to shift focus so quickly, but Roger Goodell is walking out onto the podium, and he is about to announce the pick. I wonder who it's going to be. I haven't seen anything about it, but I am very intrigued to see what is happening here. So, Roger, what have you got for us? Whoa, it's Fernando Mendoza. Who could have seen it coming? Okay, so to touch on this pick really quickly. So I actually think that it is a very decent pick. I think that Fernando Mendoza has a lot of the stuff that you'd want in a quarterback. I mean, got a decent arm, big enough, all things considered, and he is also very accurate with the ball. And I think that he has this certain like corniness with his leadership that you just like really get behind, if you will, kind of like a Kirk Cousins type of leadership, if you will. I know that he's gotten that comparison a lot, and I think that it's hilarious that they're going to be in the same quarterback room. I think that is absolutely hilarious. But like again, I think that this is a very strong pick by the Raiders. I think that they're developing him right. Give it a year, and I think this dude will end up being a decent quarterback. I don't know if he'll be just like, this world beating, phenomenal NFL quarterback or anything, but he's going to be at least decent. I'm very confident in that. I remember Mel Kiper, whenever Aaron Rodgers was drafted, he said, whoever gets Aaron Rodgers is getting a solid quarterback. That's how I feel about Fernando Mendoza. I just think that he is solid. Like, I don't think that he's like, again, world beating or anything, but I think he's solid. So I really like Jeremiah Love. So do I. I love Jeremiah Love. I think that he is probably going to end up being the best player out of this draft. Either him or Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese with the ceiling specifically. He just has such a high ceiling, if you will. But I do really like Jeremiah Love. I pray that he ends up being the pick for the Tennessee Titans. I really do. I'm just really worried with some of the reporting that has come out recently. It could so easily just be like one of those things that is what's it called again? A smoke screen. It could so easily be a smoke screen, and I just get completely just played on a stream. But like, I don't know, man. It's worrying. Can be such a dynamic player because he has great hands out of the backfield too. Yeah, I mean, again, like I think that his closest comparison, ironically, is Chris Johnson. He doesn't go down. He's really fast, and he has really good receiving potential. Yeah. Again, I was listening in because I thought Ian Rappaport was about to drop a bomb of some sorts. Yes, I'm watching the NFL Network version because I'm still bitter at ESPN about not showing that beautiful moment of Cam Ward getting the number one pick call and showing Shadur Sanders highlights instead. That's just how I feel. Okay. He reminds me of Hunzi playing two-hand touch. Oh man, I'm sure that Hunzi is an absolute beast at two-hand touch. That dude, I know that dude has got some wheels and is somewhat athletic. But anyway, now with the number 2 pick, now it is in. But the Jets, if I had to take a wild guess, it's probably going to be Arvell Reese, which could be bad news for the Titans. But I don't know, man. This is whenever the draft gets interesting. Arvell Reese goes here. After this, immediately, it just becomes like all gas, no brakes. It's going to become all gas, no brakes. Okay, next comment. It's David Hunzit. It's my senior minister. Thank you for the love. Oh, yeah. No problem, man. All right. So now with the number 2 pick, again, Arvell Reese, I think that's a great pick as well. Very athletic, very strong, just like a really solid player. He reminds me a lot of a young Micah Parsons in the Big Ten. Just like a Big Ten dominant player that can just play anywhere on the field, except the difference is that Arvell Reese was actually on a good football team. Like, if you swap Micah Parsons and Arvell Reese, I think that some things just stay very similar. Like, I think that Arvell Reese goes where Micah Parsons did. I think Micah Parsons goes where Arvell Reese is about to go. Just my personal opinion. But anyway, golly, I just see the stat for the Jets. No defensive interceptions since last season. They did not have a single interception this year. Rory McIlroy has won 2 Masters since the Jets last had an interception. Okay, it looks like Adele is walking out onto the podium. We'll see what happens here. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen, but, one can hope, right? All right, here we go. The New York Jets select. Whoa, David Bailey. Okay, hey, there's hope. That's hope. That is hope. Jeremiah Love might actually be a Tennessee Titan. Wow. That is surprising. I am mind blown. My mind is boggled. Everybody was saying Arvell Reese to the New York Jets, but it was David Bailey. I would have already been 1 for 2 on the night. I would have already been doing 10 push-ups if I would have done the same thing that I did last year. But again, okay, David Bailey was not expecting this, but I'll go at it. This was a guy that I was really looking at number 4. I thought that he was really solid. I think that he is a good kid, good head on his shoulders. That's the first big thing. But also, he is a dominant pass rusher. Like, that dude gets after the quarterback. 14 and a half sacks last year in college. That is unheard of for a college player. Like, those guys, usually they get like, like a really good season, an elite season is like 10 sacks. This dude got 14. That's insane. But again, the problem does come in whenever you see, like, with David Bailey, the problem comes in with the pass or the run stopping ability. Will his run stopping ability end up being a problem in the NFL? Like, that is something that I am genuinely curious about, just because, like, I mean, again, that's why I was interested in him at number 4, though, as well, because, like, he's a really good pass rusher, but he has some problems with the run defense. And if there is anybody that I trust to, if there's anybody specifically that I do trust to develop that run stopping ability, it would be a combination of Robert Saleh, Aaron White, Cotton, and Gus Bradley. But obviously, that's not going to be a thing anymore because, well, now he's a Jet. So now we get to see, this gets really interesting now, because who knows what's going to happen with Arizona? Do they take Arvell Reese? Do they still trade down? Do they take Jeremiah Love? I think it's a win for us anyway. If they take Jeremiah Love, draft Arvell Reese. If they take anybody, if they trade down, that team probably doesn't take Jeremiah Love. You still can take Arvell Reese, but you can also still take Jeremiah Love. Like, it's a very interesting thing. We are in a win-win scenario because of the Jets' incompetence. Thank you so much, New York. We appreciate your really weird philosophies. Let's just put it that way. All right. So now David Bailey is going for the interview as the New York Jets are currently on the clock. Golly, I'm still very surprised by that. I am really caught off guard by the David Bailey pick. Like, I was not ready for that, right? Again, specifically, I was just for people that weren't here like before the draft started. I was like really gassing up, like, okay, it's gonna be Arvell Reese and Fernando Mendoza with those top 2 picks, but after that it gets unpredictable. Man, forget that. This is already unpredictable. Like, I had a person at school today tell me I would bet $100 that the top 2 picks in the NFL draft are David Bailey and Fernando Mendoza. I remember being a little hesitant to it, but I don't know if he's watching right now, but my guy, you might have just don't tell me that you bet that, because you would have lost $100. I mean, honestly, like, I would have bet 50, so probably still wouldn't do too much. So, all right, I see in the comment section, tighten up. Who are we gonna get, Micah? Well, that threw everything out of disproportion, because I was expecting like a specific Titans thing to happen where everybody wants Jeremiah Love, everybody's excited about it, but then the Arizona Cardinals come in, swoop out of nowhere, the most irrelevant franchise in the NFL, probably, no offense, Cardinals fans, and they go out and they get Jeremiah Love. That would genuinely be a nightmare scenario, but I think that there is a serious chance here that they don't go Jeremiah Love and they decide to go with Arvell Reese instead, unless they trade it. That's whenever things could get weird as well. So right now, I am very confident in Jeremiah Love becoming the draft pick, but I could very easily see us getting somebody. I could very easily see us getting Arvell Reese with this next pick. It just really depends on what the Arizona Cardinals do here. So we are intrigued. It's going to be one of Arvell Reese or Jeremiah Love. Either way, we're going to get a dog after it. So I am very intrigued by this. All right. Let's see what happens. The pick is currently in. Roger Goodell should be walking out to the podium any minute now. Man, we're only 2 picks in, man, and I'm already feeling the pressure. I'm already feeling the heat of the NFL draft. Just waiting for Roger Goodell to walk out right now. Um, Again, I don't know what this pick's going to be. It's like they could go either way here. It could be one of, it could be Jeremiah Love, or it could be Arvell Reese, or they could just come out of nowhere and be like, hey, instead of that, we're going to take Sonny Styles, which that would be the dream best case scenario for the Tennessee Titans here, because then that intriguing option gets taken off the board. But anyway, see the camera guy out there, which means that Roger Goodell should be making his way up to the podium, and there he is. Let's see what happens here. Will it be Arvell Reese or will it be Jeremiah Love? That's a question for both the Cardinals and the Titans. Let's see what happens here. Whew. The Arizona Cardinals select. Ah, dang. It's Jeremiah Love. Ah, man. Well, I mean, it seemed like that it was being gassed up that Jeremiah Love was going to go to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not heartbroken like I was the last time that something like this happened. Last time that something like this happened, it was Joe Alt. And I remember just melting down because of that on stream, because, like, dude, I really wanted Joe Alt. And that obviously ended up being very accurate. But like, I'm not as upset about this because, like, okay, you either trade down here or you draft Arvell Reese. If we draft Sonny Styles, I will lose my mind. Well, I don't know if I'll lose my mind, but I will not be happy. Let's say that. Huh. What's up, Ryan? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Dude, oof, man. Now this is whenever the going gets real, at least for me. The Titans are on the clock. What are we going to do here? So here's the thing, though. I'm not one of these like Jeremiah Love Knights. I don't know how you would say that. Like, I'm not one of those dudes that was just like, if Jeremiah Love doesn't get drafted here, this whole draft is a complete failure, right? I'm not one of those guys. I am one of those guys that will tell you, yes, I would have probably preferred Jeremiah Love over most people in this draft. I think he'll be the best player to come out of this draft. But if we can get Arvell Reese or trade down and get a stupid amount of draft capital, I would be completely fine with that. Like, completely fine with that. All right, another one in the comments. I'm so glad you told us your name. Had no idea. Oh, gosh, that's some banter going on in the chat right now. Okay, so golly, that does frustrate me, though, seeing him in a Cardinals jersey. It shocks me, too, because, like, the thought process, whenever it comes to at least this draft, whenever I've seen stuff happen here, it's been like I've thought about Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur came from the Rams system. The Rams have consistently been able to ride off of fourth-round running backs and get solid production out of all of them for just enough time to where they can go draft another one year after year. I am incredibly shocked that Mike LaFleur decided, yeah, we're going to make this pick. Look, again, like I'm trying to stress to y'all, I am okay with us not having Jeremiah Love. But I am just saying, like, it would have definitely been fun. But now we get to move on to Arvell Reese. And let me tell you, I'm excited about Arvell Reese. Just as long, well, it could still be Sonny Styles, but I would be shocked at this point if it's not either Sonny Styles. If it's not either, if it's not, man, I am really struggling right now. If it's not either Arvell Reese or a trade down, I will be incredibly shocked. And honestly, I will be kind of upset, truthfully. I've had a lot of trust in our front office as of recently, but if they don't do one of those two things right here, again, I'm just not going to be too happy. So we will see what happens here. Jeremiah Love is getting interviewed. Golly, he's a good kid too. I hate that as well, but like, man. All right. Well, fair enough to the Cardinals. They got a great player. Michael Floor, you're going to have some fun making up some schemes for that dude. I am sure of it. Whew, man. I'm just waiting for them to show that we're on the clock or if we've made a trade or not, because that is still 100% a possibility that we trade down from 4 and go get some more draft capital. I mean, I really do believe that the Titans want 2 first-round picks in this draft, right? I genuinely believe that they want to trade up into the first if we pick somebody here. And I do genuinely believe that if we get the right offer, we would want to trade down at this position. So I am very intrigued to see what happens. All right. Again, the pick is already in for the Titans. Oh, gosh. Ooh. Man. Was Rappaport was just talking about some red flags for Jeremiah Love and his health. I kid you not, that's actually what it was. But here we go. This is it. This is the moment. Oh, he looks excited. He looks excited. Please tell me. Please be Arvell Reese. Please. Please be Arvell Reese. Please. He's just the better option. It's so obvious. I know that you see the combine results from Sonny Styles and you're really impressed. Don't get me wrong. I'm really impressed too. I think that he is a naturally born athlete. I just don't think he's worth a top 4 pick. That's it. And don't worry, I will make the case for him if he does get drafted. But I wouldn't get the logic. You are man, if he does go here, you are drafting a dude that you didn't even have a top 30 visit with, truthfully. It's not all about the combine. You have to look at everything. And yes, that's also true. Like, he doesn't even have the most impressive stats over this past couple of years. Here we go. Roger Goodell out on the podium. He's going to say Sonny Styles. Carnell Tate? What? Whoa. Wow. Oh my gosh. I did not even have that on my board. Wow. Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Whew, I'm excited to see the reactions to that. It's either going to be a lot of love or it's going to be a lot of hate. Whew, man, that's a controversial pick right there. I'm just going to start out by saying that. Like, whoo, man. Here's the thing, right? I am not upset about it. I kind of like it. I mean, Cam Ward, he's been struggling. He was struggling to get weapons last year. So why not just try and give him another one? You got Wandale, you got Calvin Ridley on a new deal, and now you got Carnell Tate. This could be something interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Like, this is surprising. I thought it was going to be one of the Ohio State guys, with Mike Borgonzi's mentality about just old school type of stuff combined with Robert Saleh's mentality of like defense, raw, gritty stuff. Like all of these things combined, both of those things combined, I thought that he was 100% not going to be the pick there. But hey, here we are. And I am intrigued by this. Immediate grade, I would have to give it a B minus, I guess, because again, I would have preferred Arvell Reese. I think he has the highest ceiling in the draft, but I absolutely love this pick for Cam Ward. Like, he could do some very good things for that man. And honestly, like, I don't know, I like it. He seems energetic. He seems fun. Like, I am very interested to see how this goes. But I will say, again, these teams must see something in him that I don't, because like he's more come off as a receiver 2 to me, like he's never come up like, and that may be because he's been playing with Jeremiah Smith the past few years, who may actually be a generational talent, but like, I don't know, man. Like I'm intrigued by this. I'm excited about it. Honestly, I'm a lot more excited about this pick than I would be about Sonny Styles. But I don't know, man. Like, it looks like Salah's excited. It looks like Dayball's excited. I mean, that's obvious enough. Brinker is there doing something, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just really intriguing, right? Here we go. Bro, what? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I really don't know. Like, that is absolutely wild to me, Now, here's now again, I'm actually pretty excited to see how that works. but we'll see. Didn't see that coming. Neither did I mean, like, again, with all the stuff that I done, with all the stuff that I've done on this, that was never even meant to be an option. What a smoke! Okay, hold on. I just want to say this: credit where credit is due. Styles Edwards, don't hate it, but definitely didn't see it coming. Same here. Uh, here's hold on. We got to listen to this. Gotta love a mama's boy. Okay, well, it looks like the Giants have also made their pick. That could get interesting, but yep, I feel the same way. Like I like this pick significantly more than I would have Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles would have actually made me upset, but and like I also do really love the fact that you're getting a weapon for Cam Ward. I mean, goodness knows he needs it, but like again, it's my mind is just boggled by it. Truthfully, I'm just truthfully, I think we could have traded down and maybe gotten Carnell Tate with a different pick, but we'll see. I'm curious to see what the Giants do here because it seems like Jordan Tyson gained a lot of traction right here. But I mean, like with Arvell Reese being on the board, they may audible here. You know, like there's a very likely scenario where they weren't planning on it, but he comes in. Or Arvell Reese being available there, they want Arvell Reese. I could 100% see that. Here we go. Yep, I feel the same way. Would have loved Bailey. I completely agree, Mike. The Sonny pick would have been bad. This is not like the Titans past, in my opinion. I'll say that. Like, I think Rand Carthen or heck, even John Robinson would have seen the upside that Sonny Styles had. And instead of being like, let's actually pick somebody else at like either a premium position or pick somebody that has like that's going to be solid in the league. That's the safe pick, if you will. Well, no, let's go with the really high upside dude that we have no idea if we can even develop or not. Like I like again, I am good with the Carnell Tate pick. I think that I am accepting it. Talking myself into it, I'll give it a B plus. That will probably be the grade for it whenever the next week's episode comes out. But again, my mind could completely change between now and that Wednesday, right? So again, I'm just very interested. So, Peyton Manning. Okay, so now it's just like again, like the Giants. This draft has gotten off to such a wild start that like I'm having a hard time reacting to this whole thing, right? Like David Bailey was not expected. Jeremiah Love was starting to become kind of expected. And then Carnell Tate just came out of nowhere for the 4th overall pick. Like I thought that the only way that we were drafting Carnell Tate is if we traded down with the Chiefs. But I'm completely okay with being wrong on that, honestly. Because again, I do think that he is a good football player. But anyway, what do you think of Jordan Tyson? I think Jordan Tyson has the highest upside out of any receiver in this draft, like by far, and I don't even think it's close. But he does not fit the Borgonzi profile. Let's just say that Borgonzi likes dudes that can stay healthy and that will be on the field consistently. Jordan Tyson is not that dude. He missed like 60% of his college football games, I think. Whenever he was on the field, he was ridiculous. But with like his injury issues, who knows? Like it could very easily be, excuse me, could very easily be some type of situation where it's like, he was just kind of doing load management, if you will. Like that wouldn't shock me, but we'll see. Hold on. While the Giants are making this pick, I got to make an adjustment. I forgot to put a charger into my phone. I do not want this dying midstream and y'all getting the crappy webcam, if you will. So we're going to fix that real quick. All right. Is he better than Tate? He has a chance to be. I mean, if he develops correctly and doesn't get hurt, I think that he has the chance to be. But I think that Tate is the safer pick there, honestly. So we'll see. What will the Giants do? I agree with that. He's injury prone. Yeah, he really is. Oof. All right. Little emotional story before this pick. Maybe it'll make the landing softer if they do end up picking Jordan Tyson. Here we go. Yeah, that doesn't shock me, honestly. Like, your strategy completely changes whenever a dude that is seriously, like, potentially one of could be the best player in the NFL draft. Your strategy completely changes whenever he's available at your pick, right? Like, that is something that I 100% saw coming. That says the Chiefs are at number 6. I didn't realize that they traded down. Hold up. Why did I not see that? What the heck? Hold on. I need to find this. Where are you, Adam Schefter? We need to talk right now. What the heck? Okay, so of course, the Browns. And of course they didn't get anything else. They got the 9th pick, they got the 74th pick, and the 148th pick. I'm just going to let you know this right now. I think Borgonzi would have gotten a lot more. We'll just put it that way. But hey, Brown's going to Brown, right? Okay, so now the Chiefs have traded up. I'm intrigued. What do we think they're going to do here? Browns fleeced. Oh, wait, hold on. Sounds like he could be another Traylon Burks. I don't think it's that way, honestly. Like, he does come off as a dude that at least has some work ethic. And again, it takes a lot to be a really good receiver, like under Jeremiah Smith, and not just completely blend into his shadow, you know? So that's something there. And honestly, like, low key, might have had a better game against Miami. I'm just putting that out there. But like, still, I am very intrigued by that. What was the next? Browns fleeced. I don't know about that. Like, again, like, if they had gotten like next year's first, I would have said 100% they fleeced. But I think that's overall a pretty even trade. Although I would say slightly leans towards the Chiefs, just personally. So, all right, now Kansas City is on the clock. I wonder what they're going to do here. Also, I got to go see some of this. I got to go see some of this reaction to Carnell Tate, because I know Terrible wasn't even a wide receiver one in college and would have been there multiple picks back. That is one of the first reactions that I see. Woof. But Mike Herndon, shout out to him. He's a great insider. States Justin Jefferson and Jalen Waddle weren't wide receiver ones on their college teams either. That's what y'all got to remember. Like, both of those dudes were stuck with generational talents. Does that sound familiar? On big teams that I believe that both of them won a national championship in college. So, like, it's very, ironically, it's very similar to what Carnell Tate is right now. So I 100% see a world where Carnell Tate ends up being a really great NFL receiver, just personally. So now we are just waiting for the Chiefs to make their pick. And now I am going to go take a look at the rest of the reaction of the world to see what exactly they are thinking. Because, golly, this is weird. All right. Let me see. What are some of my favorite picks? Of course, Mike Herndon, a little upset. He was a David Bailey guy through and through. Now they're okay. That's not on the clock. Well, Cardinals fans, I guess this is for you. Yikes. Pain, of course. Trade back feels like the move here. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have seen that being a thing. Carnell Tate. I mean, yeah. I mean, think about this. That receiver core becomes 10 times better with Carnell Tate. Like, it was already pretty good. It was already not pretty good. It was okay without him, like Wan'Dale Robinson, Calvin Ridley. That's much better than what he had last year. But now, Alec Ailman or Chimray DK are depth receivers. And Carnell Tate hopefully could be your wide receiver one, and or at least he develops into that. Then you've got a decent wide receiver two in Wandale Robinson and a really solid wide receiver three in Calvin Ridley. I think that that is a very solid starting receiver core for uh for him, and I think that's a major upgrade over whatever the heck he had last season. So now the Chiefs pick is in. Who do we think they go with here? This is interesting to me, right? This is again, this is very intriguing, right? Also, do want to say this: old Ricky was correct. Just putting that out there. If y'all don't know who Ricky is, he's a social media user. He mainly uses Twitter. He is like an insider that doesn't really have like the restrictions that like, oh, hold on. Sixth pick, the Chiefs pick. Who? Oh no, wait, hold on. That's bad on my part. Oof. No, Mansour Delane, he's the defensive back out of LSU. Yeah, that's a decent little pick, honestly. I mean, personally, I know that this is going to be my bias showing. Actually, no, that's a stupid statement. I was about to say Colton Hood might be better. That's dumb. That's big orange bias right there is what that is. But yeah, no, this is a very solid pick for them. I honestly have not done a lot of research on Mansour, more so because of the fact that, well, I mean, I was very confident in the fact that he was not going to be the pick for the Titans. I think that they did some really good work with the defensive back position. And now I think that if they do make a pick at DB, it's going to be on day 3. Get somebody in there to compete with Marcus Harris for that nickel cornerback spot. So now that leads to Washington's pick. This feels like the most obvious landing spot for Sonny Styles now. I mean, I think that Mansour is, first off, I do want to say, I think Mansour should be really excited about this. He's going to a team that is really well ran from a head coaching perspective, coming off of a down year as one of the top prospects in the NFL draft. You get to go to Kansas City. Like, that is an amazing trade-off. Like, most of these dudes are begging that they don't get drafted by New York or heck, Arizona, or sometimes, or I'll say it, even us. Like, we're going to get there someday where it's not a shame that you get drafted to us. But as of right now, I mean, let's be real. But anyway, again, this is a pretty solid pick. I mean, as they're saying on TV right now, really good man coverage, and just, overall, I mean, I don't have that much to say. So, anyway, I want to go back to what I was saying earlier about the Twitter user Ricky. So basically, Ricky is a very interesting case. He is a content creator on Twitter. He consistently talks about inside rumors and stuff. He doesn't have those restrictions that like a Schefter would, and he is able to just speak his mind about what he's hearing. So he said Jeremiah Love is most likely to pick at Arizona if they don't trade down, which, yes, he was correct about. But the big thing that happened after that was that he said that even if Jeremiah Love goes at 3 to the Chiefs, he's very confident in the fact that it wasn't going to be Sonny Styles. Dude went 2 for 2. Got to give him credit. I know that he's very controversial, but credit where credit's due. Whew, man. I do have a lot of water down here because I know that my voice is going to be really tired by the end of the night. So, anyway, yeah, Washington. This feels like such an obvious Sonny Styles selection, but like also it could very easily just be not that. It could very easily not be Sonny Styles. And Washington might Washington and just pick somebody that we're not even expecting. What about the Commander Unknown? Y'all remember the Raider Unknown whenever I don't know, Al Davis was the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and there would always be this one dude that would get drafted by the Raiders, and everybody would just be like, wait, who is that? And maybe this is what happens here with Washington. They just have a weird vibe about them right now. had a chance to go get a really good offensive coordinator this offseason, and Mike McDaniel completely missed that because of a very weird rumor that was started. Probably there was a plant within the Lions organization that was just like, yo, maybe we go hire David Blau. And then David Blau got promoted from an assistant quarterback coach to an offensive coordinator, which was a really weird move. So anyway, now Roger Goodell is out here. I think that's Jerome Bettis. Yeah, Jerome Bettis and Lynn Swan are currently on stage, about to announce the pick because they were nominated for NFL Man of the Year whenever they were still in their heyday. So let's see. All right. All right, here we go. Again, this feels really obvious, but it may not be. Yeah, I mean, it was Sonny Styles. That felt like the pick that I was just like, yeah, I mean, Dan Quinn, defensive mind. Washington really likes their upside. It does not shock me in the slightest that this was the dude that they decided to go with. I'm really intrigued by what this is going to show because, again, this is another dude that has a really high ceiling. Like, he's really fast. Again, he's agile. He's got a lot. He's what I think it said like 6'3, 6'4. Like, dude is very big and just has a lot of solid credentials whenever it comes to being a linebacker. So I am very interested to see what exactly happens here. Oh man, yeah. In 2024, he had a really great year in 2024. Fell off a little bit in 2025, but again, like this dude, again, he also has the potential to be the best player in the NFL draft, but that would be like his absolute ceiling. Like I mean, like that is like everything goes according to plan for him. He's developed 100% correctly. He is completely injury free throughout his career. Like both of those things happen. He may end up being the best player in this draft. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not, especially considering that he got drafted to Washington out of all places. But still, very intriguing. So now the question is, what does New Orleans do here? I am I am intrigued by that. What will the Saints go with here? Again, like outside, like after Sonny Styles, the draft kind of gets a little bit blurry for me. Like I may have some commentary on some dudes, especially if there's a little VFL in here, if you know what I mean. Like I know he's probably not going to go this early because of his knee problems, but like a Dramon McCoy or a let me try and think. Who's the other dude? Like a Dramon McCoy or a Colton Hood gets drafted here. Heck, Chris Brazzell may get drafted in the first round for all we know. So we'll just have to see. That first pick still feels like a fever dream at number 4. Sonny Styles. I was about to say RFL Reese. I'm getting all the Ohio State guys confused. Carnell Tate. I am still just mind blown by that. You know, like my mind is just really just weirded out by that. I mean, I don't hate it, but again, like I'm mind blown. That's really it. And credit to the Tennessee Titans organization by setting up the greatest smokescreen I think I have ever seen with taking that pick. They're taking that pick and basically making everybody completely confused on what's going to happen. I don't think there was a single insider on planet Earth that was telling you, yeah, it's gonna be Carnell Tate. Everybody was saying one of Sonny Styles, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, or trade down. That's what I thought too. I mean, this was not in the cards. I was putting Carnell Tate into the trade down category, not into the let's draft him at number 4 category. I mean, I'm not again like I think that it will probably end up working out in the end because I really trust the. We have a really good wide receiver coach. He was the guy that developed Tyreek Hill. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now. It's something Lewis. But we have a really good receiver coach. We have one of the best offensive coordinators in the league in Brian Daboll. I have confidence that he will end up being something decent. And judging by his pick the last time that the Giants made a wide receiver pick, I think he has a pretty good eye for what good wide receivers are. So I am very confident in that pick, but again, like it's just really shocking, you know? Okay, with the Giants having the 10th pick, I think that's where they end up going with old Jordan Tyson. Thanks to the uh of course, man, that still just weirds me out. Thanks to the Titans, unfortunately, now the Giants are going to have the highest upside receiver in the draft and the highest upside player in the draft. That's just a joy. I mean, I don't trust who they have developing them over there. I mean, maybe the position coaches are a lot better than I'm letting on, but like their offensive coordinator is Matt Nagy. I mean, I know that y'all saw my stuff throughout the head coaching process. I don't even know if I still have it here, but for the longest time, I had a sheet for the head coaching profile, and it said Matt Nagy, and I said, no, we are not doing that. We are not going through that, right? So again, I don't know. All right. Pick number 8. The pick is in for the New Orleans Saints. After a very surprising year with Tyler Shook, they are trying to see how they can improve the roster. Honestly, this would also not be a shocking Jordan Tyson landing spot for me. I wouldn't be shocked if, like, for some reason they were like, oh, high upside receiver for our old quarterback, that type of thing. Man, just give him a voice arrest here real quick. No need to talk the entire however many hours it's going to be, probably like 3 or 4. This draft is way too long, man. Me, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, this could so easily be like an hour. Like, again, you need to give time for the people to make their picks, but like it could so very easily just be like, like 2 minutes per pick, and they would probably have it done like pretty easily. I think they're very generous with the 10 minutes, but still, man. Okay. Now the Saints are probably about to make their pick. We'll be right back with the enjoy this in. We'll be right back. That is what my TV is currently saying because I have YouTube TV, which is kind of nice, honestly. But anyway, now we just wait. Okay, we're back from commercial break. All right. So now I am intrigued to see what happens here. The Saints have had a decent length of first round picks. I mean, Chris Olave has ended up being a great weapon. Trevor Penning was not a really great pick in the slightest. Dude got into a fight and then his career went downhill after that. Then Peyton Turner, he was okay. Oh, Sweet Caroline is currently playing in the background. The Saints selection is about to be made. And now the commissioner is begging for Sweet Caroline to continue playing. Maybe he needs a vocal rest too for the like 30 words that he says throughout the night. All right, here we go. 8th pick in the NFL draft. New Orleans Saints select. Okay, yeah. Another thing that I said, like, it's the exact opposite of last year. Me guessing on the fly apparently is a lot better than me just guessing. But I said, look, this is a spot where I could see my boy Jordan Tyson going. Like, he is a very solid receiver, all things considered, whenever he's on the field. That is the problem. Will he be able to stay healthy? Honestly, I'm just very happy I didn't end up with the Giants because I could not have lived with the idea that the Titans passed up on Jordan Tyson for Carnell Tate, and that the Giants got him and he ended up being a star. I'm okay with him becoming a star with the Saints. I respect the Saints a lot more than I do those guys, honestly, because I know fans like sometimes they can be obnoxious about the whole Tyler Shook thing, but they are still at the end of the day pretty chill overall. So anyway, this is a pretty good pick, at least in my opinion. Like I really like the upside of this. You already have a really good receiver for uh, Tyler Shook if this doesn't work out. So either way, you're probably going to end up being fine. So now I am just very intrigued to see what happens with the Cleveland Browns pick. Now, this is whenever the draft gets really blurry for me because there were like a couple of guys within this top 9 that I really Jordan Tyson currently breaking down in tears of joy in the hallway on the way to go get his cap and to go greet Roger Goodell on the stage. That's such an again. I will say if there's anything that the draft brings that could be really great, it's this moment right here. Just seeing the kids get really excited about the idea that they are about to fulfill their lifelong dream of being in the NFL. Genuinely, it makes me genuinely happy to see. This is another reason this is one of my favorite times of the year. You know, of course he had to be watching the NBA playoffs while he was doing this. I wonder what's going on there, but again, that's none of my business because this is a football channel. Oh man, now Cleveland is up. Cleveland. Oof, where do I start with that can of worms? I don't feel like there's really like a sexy pick here, if you will. So maybe they try and make one out of themselves and just make one of the stupidest picks of the draft to try and get some attention. Who knows? Again, it's the Browns, so could see that happening. But I am very intrigued to see what they go with here because they need everything. Like there are a lot of teams in this draft, weirdly enough, that just kind of need everything. Like with Cleveland or Miami or actually no, New York doesn't need everything. They're on the cusp of being really great. But like again, like Miami and a couple and the Jets and all of those guys, like there are a lot of teams that really need again everything. So I'm intrigued to see what happens here with the Cleveland pick because they could go any way that they truly want to. Jordan Tyson becoming a motivational speaker mid speech. Oh, that. Oh, yeah, right. I was about to say, why are they booing? But no, it's Cleveland's pick. Of course, any any self-respecting Browns fan is going to boo, or any Browns fan is going to boo at the Steelers. Any Steelers fan is going to boo at the Browns. That's the way that it is going to be for the rest of eternity, right? Like again, and I respect it. I mean, I hate the Colts, I hate the Jags, and I hate the Houston Texans, and I still hate the Baltimore Ravens, even though we're not in the same division anymore. Hate those guys so much, right? Whew, man, I'm gonna need a lot of water to get me through the night. All right. I am very shocked, though, so far. None of the offensive linemen have been taken. That was what we thought was going to happen with the third pick for the longest time until it just randomly became Jeremiah Love. But I wouldn't be shocked in the now. I'm actually starting to think there is something that I think could happen here. I think it's going to be Francis Maugo, I think is how you pronounce his name. Oh, okay. Okay. I need to explain myself. I got him confused. Oh, I love this dude already. That is a great shirt. I love that shirt. But I need to explain myself. I got this dude confused with Francis Malgo from last year's NFL draft, the one that got drafted by the Saints, I believe. I meant Spencer Fano. I promise. I meant Spencer Fano. But again, like that's a very good pick by the Browns, honestly. With the chaos that happened at the top of the draft, you having the chance to take the best offensive tackle in the entire draft, you take that chance every single day of the week. And they were able to take it, which, again, good on them, right? Now is the New York Giants pick once again. I think that the game plan going into this draft was if Arvell Reese was there, you go with Arvell Reese and then hope that not Carnell Tate. And then you just hope that at pick 10, Jordan Tyson is there. Now Jordan Tyson's not there. What is the audible here for the New York Giants? I am intrigued. Excuse me. I am intrigued. Now, I could actually see this being Ruben Bain. They just continue to stack defense, if you will. But we'll see. And now Roger Goodell walks out onto the podium, and he is now about to announce the pick. I don't know what this is going to be. Oh, wait, hold on. Now I'm just continuing to fumble over myself. Spencer, the last dude, I actually meant this dude. But still, two very good back-to-back picks by these guys. I mean, Giants needed some offensive line help. And so did the Browns. This is some very solid back-to-back picks, all things considered. Now Miami is up. Oh, God bless Miami, dude. They are in a terrible position right now. I know a Miami fan. Sorry, man. It's just the truth. Like, Jeff Hafley, I think, is going to be a very good head coach in the NFL. But the roster that he has is just absolutely just terrible. Like, you have nothing. You have a weird receiver core. You have a bad offensive line outside of Aaron Brewer, who, despite me being really critical of him as a Titan, has ended up becoming a really great Dolphin. Do with that information what you will. Malik Willis is a very unproven quarterback. The defense is not really that great. There's not a lot of good stuff going on for the Miami Dolphins right now, but this is another one where, because of that, you're given the freedom to take the best available player. Did they swap picks? I think Dallas and Miami just swapped picks. Huh, interesting. Let me try and find the details of that, because now I'm curious. All right, Adam, do you have something on this? Yep, Cowboys did indeed trade up to 11, but now we've just got to see what exactly. Now we're going to see what the trade information is exactly. But while they're doing that, I'm very intrigued to see what exactly is what are the rest of the people saying on the timeline about this. If you hate the Tate pick, give it like 15 minutes. That's honestly like really great advice. My favorite choice among the guys off the board after Bailey was Carnell Tate for Mike Herndon. That's really chill. All right. And then Easton Freeze, it's frying me right now that the same timeline, all upset about receiver potentially getting put on the back burner, is now weeping over wide receiver one in the top 5. I mean, yeah, I 100% see that from Easton. Like, that's just funny to me more than anything. And then What else is there? Uh, yeah, please get some help tonight. Mike Borgonzi did here. Uh, RBT seems very confused. Two Tone Talk is very stunned and he doesn't hate it. I mean, I completely agree with that take from old Two Tone. But anyway, now Dallas and Miami have swapped. I'm trying to see, has Schefter given us an update on that? Really nothing. What is the information? Adam, where are you? My boy Adam, what did they give up? I'm trying to see this. Okay, we need this information soon, very soon. All right, this top 10 shakeup is crazy. Cam Ward to Carnell Tate is going to hit like a certain drug that I don't know if I'm allowed to say on this, so I'm not going to. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like if Carnell Tate really does end up being like a really solid receiver, I am going to be really excited about that. Some dude just decided to completely disrespect Cam Ward. FanDuel Canada. Oh, yeah, Canadians. No, I'm kidding. I love Canadians, but still. Uh, anyway, another wide receiver from Ohio State in the first round. Reach could have traded and gotten him later with an extra pick. Don't like it with a guy off the board. Tennessee Titans are. I mean, honestly, that's my only criticism. That's my only criticism with that pick, all things considered, is that I think you could have traded down with. I mean, I don't think you could have traded too far down. Like, I don't think you could have traded down to 10 or something like that and still gotten him. But I think you could have traded down to 7 with the Commanders and still gotten him and probably gotten some more draft capital. Like, I think that would have been 100% possible. But yeah. Okay. Come on now. Adam, where is the information? Oh, do we have it? No, still no. Okay, cool. Somebody asked if Will Levis gets a new team tonight. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. Where is the info, Adam? When are we gonna be getting the information about this pick? I love the Tate pick even more because Jeremiah Love stands can't whine about the Titans passing on him for Tate. Wasn't available. Okay, that post by Easton makes me think that there was something else going on here, that maybe he was always the guy and we just didn't know it. Like it was more of those, like one of those really out of nowhere things that nobody was expecting. So now I'm trying to figure out what exactly is the timetable here. We're gonna hold on. Okay, here we go. We got a comment asking a question. How do you feel about the Titans trading back into the first round? Okay, I don't know if that officially happened yet. I mean, if that did, then I'm good with it. But I actually really like the idea of the Titans trading back into the first round, especially with the Carnell Tate pick. Like, you can go try and get another position of need. Like, I would really like that, honestly, if we traded back into the first round. Like, I mean, the more blue chip players, the merrier, right? Yeah, I mean, I am very okay with that. It hasn't. Just curious about your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, no, I would definitely be intrigued 100% with trading back into the first round. Like, I don't know who exactly we would go get. I mean, go get another receiver? Obviously not. But like, like would you go get cornerback? I mean, they said that they weren't done at that position. Would you go like Colton Hood? I mean, I think that a lot of Vols fans would just be juiced about that. But do you go back into the first round and go get a defensive back? Could you go get Salah's linebacker of the future if you believe that you can get him here? Do you go get your right guard that you so desperately need? Like, there are a lot of interesting paths that they could go with that. And yeah, it sounds really sad, doesn't it, that I'm naming so many things that could be needs. But the pick is in for the Dallas Cowboys. If there's anybody that we can count on to embarrass themselves come draft season, it is the Dallas Cowboys. Mozzie Smith. Does anybody remember that pick? Everybody thought it was going to be Nolan Smith, but he drafted the wrong Smith. Old Jerry did. That's something that was interesting. All right. Now, the Cowboys have officially made the pick. They're going up to the podium. Have we gotten some info, Adam? My gosh, my boy is lacking. Here we go. Oh, that's a good pick by the Cowboys. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I was just trashing Jerry. Jerry, I take it back. My apologies. That is an amazing pick. Caleb Downs, again, that's another dude that might be the best player in this draft. This guy has so much potential, not just as a safety, but he could also be very flexible. He could play cornerback as well. Really solid just pick in general. That dude has been ready for the NFL since his freshman year. I love that pick, and he is going to be worth everything that they can get from him. All right. Now Dallas has another another guy that they can trade within 3 years after he asks for too much money. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Still had to take that shot. Again, another one of my friends is a Cowboys fan. So I have a soft spot for them in some ways, but man, that's just, it's a good pick. It is. So could we, okay, here we go. Finally, we got some trade information. Okay. So the Cowboys traded up one spot to get Caleb Downs. They only had to trade picks number 177 and picks number 180. So weird thing for me, at least. I don't know. What happened? Something happened with my camera, didn't it? This is weird. Hold on now. What's going on? Huh, weird. Camera's acting off. Can y'all see me? For anybody that's still watching, if you are. Looks like nobody is. All right, somebody just tuned in. Can you see me, or do I need to do something here? Okay. I think I just. Okay. Yeah, I need to figure this out. Hold on. Okay. I am going to end the stream just really quickly. It'll be like 5 seconds. All right. And I'll be right back up. For anybody that just tuned in, I'm about to go under real quick and then I'll be right back. All right. I just need to get this camera situation figured out.